God!
A month later, Chika couldn't stop thinking about Madame Ngozi. Every time she looked at the beautiful dress she had picked up that day, her mind went back to the woman who had made it. Madame Ngozi had been kind and talented, and her time for weighing heavy on Chika's heart. She couldn't shake off the image of Madame Ngozi's swollen, painful hands, and the despair she had seen in her eyes. No one else had come to visit her or check on her. Chika realized that if anyone was going to help her, it has to be her. So after gathering some strength for herself, she went back to Madame Ngozi's shop and gently knocked on the door. Madame Ngozi, it is me, Chika. Please let me in, she said softly. After a long pause, she heard a shuffling footstep approaching. Madame Ngozi opened the door, her eyes swollen from tears, her face pale and worn. She was clearly too weak to stand on her own, and without another word, Chika stepped in, carefully helping her to sit down. She could see Madame Ngozi's hand wrapped in clothes, but still the skin was swollen and covered in sore that hasn't started to heal. You can't go on like this, ma. We are going to get you help, Chika said softly, holding her hand. With Madame Ngozi barely able to resist, Chika gently helped her up and took a taxi to the nearest hospital. When they arrived at the hospital, the doctors were stunned by the sight of her inflamed, damaged hands. They shifted and whispered among themselves. This level of swelling and sore was something they had barely seen, and it made them wonder if something deeper was going on. What could have caused this? One of the doctors murmured as they began to treat the sore with the strongest equipment and medication they had. Despite their best efforts, Madame Ngozi's hand did not respond quickly to the treatment. Days passed, but the wound remained stubbornly unhealed, as though an invisible weight kept them from improving. Feeling helpless but determined, Chika determined it was time to bring more than just a medical support. She knew Madame Ngozi had always been deeply spiritual, so she reached out to few pastors from her church. Explaining the situation to them, they agreed to come and pray for Madame Ngozi.